Hi Guy. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thanks. In today's video I will explain how my manager lied about me. HR discovered his emails. The day everything shifted. There are days you remember because they felt ordinary, until suddenly they weren't. For me, it was a Wednesday morning, the kind where you're running on 2 hours of sleep and half a cup of courage. I didn't know that in less than 24 hours, my entire career would be flipped upside down. And I definitely didn't know that HR had just uncovered the one thing that would expose everything my manager did to me. But let's start where the pain began. I've always been that employee who quietly gets things done. Not loud. Not political. Not the center of attention. Just reliable. Growing up in a small apartment with my grandmother, I learned early what responsibility meant. She'd say, "Your work is your signature. Guard it." So when I got my role as a project coordinator, it felt like I had finally stepped into something I could be proud of. At first, my manager, Daniel, seemed supportive. He praised my attention to detail, trusted me with tasks bigger than my title, and acted like a mentor. But admiration is a tricky illusion. Because sometimes people build you up just to break you later. It began subtly. A comment here. A strange silence there. Emails he used to send directly to me suddenly went to everyone, including the parts where he corrected my work, most of which I hadn't even done yet. Meetings became uncomfortable. He'd interrupt me. Ignore my ideas. Take credit for my recommendations but dismiss them when I said them. At first, I thought, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe he's stressed. Until one Friday evening when I stayed late to finish a report. My laptop froze, so I restarted it, and when it came back on, one of his emails popped up on the shared drive by accident. It was addressed to HR. And it said, "She's becoming difficult. Unreliable. Emotional. I don't think she can handle the pressure of this role." My chest tightened. Unreliable? Me? The person who cleaned up his mistakes? Who covered his missed deadlines? Who stayed late while he left early? My hands shook as I scrolled. Another email. Then another. All describing me as inconsistent, moody, slow, and not a team player. I felt like the ground tilted under me. He was building a case. A slow burn trap. A quiet attempt to destroy my reputation before I even realized what was happening. Monday morning, 9:13 a.m. My phone buzzed. HR. Please come to my office at 10 a.m. to discuss performance concerns. My blood turned cold. This was it. The downfall moment my gut had warned me about. When I entered our office, the room felt heavy. The HR manager, Mrs. Collins, gestured for me to sit. Next to her was Daniel, arms crossed, eyes cold. He didn't even look at me, not like a human, but like someone watching the finishing blow of a plan finally unfolding. Mrs. Collins started. "We've been receiving reports about some concerning behavior." I swallowed. "Reports from whom?" I asked, though I already knew. Daniel cleared his throat dramatically. "I'm sorry, but we have to address this. You've been struggling. Missing tasks. Acting emotional toward colleagues." My heartbeat thrashed in my ears. "That's not true." He scoffed. "See," he told HR, "this defensiveness is part of the issue." I felt something inside me crack, a mix of disbelief, betrayal, and fury. This man who I'd supported, defended, helped, was standing here acting like I was a burden. HR slid a folder toward me. Inside were printed emails. His emails. Twisted, exaggerated stories about me. My vision blurred for a moment. "This isn't real," I whispered. Daniel leaned in. "Just accept responsibility. It'll make the process easier." Process. He meant termination. He was trying to get rid of me. The turning point, the question that saved me. I don't know what pushed me. Maybe survival instinct. Maybe my grandmother's voice. Maybe pure rage. But something made me say, "Where are the sent timestamps for these emails?" Both HR and Daniel froze. "What do you mean?" HR asked. I breathed in deeply. "You said these were sent months ago." But when I checked the shared drive on Friday, they didn't show up until last week. Can we open the metadata? Daniel's face dropped. A flicker of panic. And that's when I knew. He lied about me. But he also lied about when he wrote those emails. Mrs. Collins narrowed her eyes. What shared drive? I explained what I'd seen, the accidental file sync. The new timestamps. The sudden appearance of emails he claimed he had sent months before. Our expression changed instantly. Daniel shifted uncomfortably. She's mistaken, he said too quickly. But HR wasn't looking at him anymore. Her entire attention was on me. Would you be willing to come back after lunch? She asked quietly. I want to check something. I nodded, chest tight. As I walked out of the room, Daniel grabbed my arm. What do you think you're doing? I pulled away. Telling the truth. He glared at me with an expression I had never seen before. Fear. The unexpected twist hours discovery. 2 hours later, HR called me back. I sat down, heart pounding. Mrs. Collins closed the door. Locked it. Then she turned to me with a look that made my stomach twist. We checked the server logs. Silence. Daniel altered the timestamps. My breath caught. He edited the emails last week, she continued, voice steady. And he backdated every single one. My hands covered my mouth. She wasn't done. We also found drafts where he practiced what accusations to make. He tried to set you up. For a moment, I couldn't speak. Couldn't even think. Daniel had orchestrated all of this. Months of attempts to make me look unstable, dishonest, incompetent. And if I hadn't spoken up, I would have lost everything. Mrs. Collins sighed. He's been suspended pending investigation. We want your statement. And, we owe you an apology. I felt tears sting my eyes. Not from sadness. From relief. From vindication. From the first breath of truth after weeks of drowning. The confrontation when he saw me win. Later that day, as I walked out of HR, I saw Daniel packing his things. He looked at me, pure hatred mixed with desperation. You think you're going to get away with this, he hissed. I stood tall. For once, taller than him. I didn't do anything. That's the difference between us. He stepped closer. I made this place. They'll take me back. I shook my head slowly. Maybe. But they'll never trust you again. He froze. Because he knew it was true. He wasn't just losing his job. He was losing his mask. 7. The moment of justice, the truth comes full circle. 2 weeks later, HR called me for an update. Daniel was fired. For falsifying documentation. For harassment. For targeted manipulation. I was cleared of everything. Every accusation. Every lie. But that wasn't all. They promoted me. I didn't even know how to react, I just sat there as the words sank into my chest like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Later, I found out that the director himself said, if she had the strength to defend herself against a manager's lies, she has the strength to lead. For the first time in months, I felt seen, heard, respected. And when I walked into my new office for the first time, I whispered, "This is for you, Grandma." The final message, what this taught me. Looking back now, the pain still stings. The betrayal still echoes. But the biggest lesson I learned? Sometimes the lies people tell about you say more about them than they ever could about you. When someone tries to destroy your character, stay steady. Stay truthful. Stay patient. Thanks.